Okay, so I'm recording this and I'll have this posted in our group and on our Oily Friends YouTube channel, which I just put up tonight. And so you'll see that when you see the link for this, you can subscribe to our Oily Friends YouTube channel, and then you'll get a notification anytime we have a new video uploaded. We're gonna make it just for our Oily Friends members, and so we can have lots of really great deep information for you guys. And that's what our team prides ourselves on, is just really making sure that you guys feel supported and educated on this journey. It's never our intention to just say like, here's this and you need to buy this and stuff. Our goal is really just all about education. And so if you have more information and education than you can handle, then we're okay with that. You get to pick and choose what you like and what you want to learn, and you can just kind of pass on the rest. But our goal is to just make sure that you are feeling educated and supported in that area more than not. So I just wanted to start out by just doing some intros. I can share a little bit about me, and then if you feel like sharing a couple of things about you, like what kit did you start with and what led you here. It's always great to hear our members' stories of what led them here. And so for some of us, it's a long time. For some of us, we just dive in. For me, it was a long time. I took 2 years to buy my Young Living kit because I am a chronic skeptic and I need to do all the research before I do things. At least that's how I used to be. And I still am pretty much like that, but I really wanted to do a lot of research. I was going through a naturopathy degree training, and I knew that there was a gap in what I had been using with clients and what I was using with my family. And I didn't know what it was. I was like, we were having success with some natural therapies, but I just felt like there was something more. And that prompting led me to check into essential oils. A friend had given me some things to try when we were having different issues and things like that. And after seeing that they worked, I said, well, okay, wouldn't be fair of me to not share this, but I need to do my research on companies, on quality. I did that for 2 years, and I really wanted it to be a different company. I wanted my end result to be a different company because I had some biases about network marketing. I wasn't educated enough. I had had a bad experience in the past with somebody from a different company. And so that 2 years, I really dug in and found so much about Young Living that everything kept pointing to it. So I finally got my kit, and I never looked back, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So I just hope that it is for you too, and I know that it will be. And hopefully in supporting you with some education and things along your journey, you'll be able to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. So that's really what we want to see here. This is an older picture of my family. I have 6 kids. My husband and I have 6 kids, and 5 of them are still living at home. We are admittedly holding on to them as long as we can. We just moved to Oklahoma from Minnesota a few months ago. So our oldest, he's 24, and he's in Minnesota still. And we just saw him a couple of days ago. That was hard, but we're working through that. And so we got on this journey of natural health when our 4th son had some really serious issues. And I started doing some reading and realizing that the older kids had some things that we could have helped too, and that we started helping and stuff. So it's been a really amazing journey. I know that it can feel overwhelming in the beginning. So if you guys have something that you'd like to share, I would love to hear anybody who would like to share. What kit did you start with? What led you here? And you can just pop on with that. I'm going to give you a second and get something to drink, and then we'll kind of move on to some information. So I'm just curious of, what made you get started and things like that.
Hey, this is Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Hey, I messaged you on Instagram because I saw you driving through Missouri, and I was like, that'd be so cool if you're here too. Yeah. I have my little nursey boy here with me. Okay. So I think I've been interested in oils for a couple of years, but I've been the person who said, that's expensive. It always just felt like too much money out of the gate. And so now we have a little bit more flex with like what we can spend monthly. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm signed up under Nicole Puckett, and she's just been really encouraging. She said, buy the oils and build a relationship with them. Don't even worry about like selling or sharing. My
advice.
hang up, I guess, with like MLM is the social media aspect, because I've just kind of been dead on social media for a couple of years, and I don't want to just come out like, hey everyone, try these oils. That doesn't feel authentic for me. So I'm just kind of taking it slow. Hi. But I bought the kids kit because I wanted to get it before it like sold out, and so I'm gonna buy the premium starter kit here probably within the next week. But let's see, what do we have going on? Our story is like that is a puppy. Yeah. You see Sarah Anderson's picture of her dog on her. Okay. It's been a journey of trauma therapy and just therapy in general. Don't have any like major health issues. I guess, I deal with anxiety and depression, and I'm gonna see a naturopath for the first time in December and get my hormones and stuff worked out, and just kind of like go from the inside out to, why is my acne so bad? I've had like issues with weight fluctuation for the last, 5 or so years, but using oils allows me to like proactively care for my family's health. Like I don't reach for stuff in the medicine cabinet. That's not how I grew up. We did a lot of homeopathic stuff. My mom didn't use oils, but it makes me feel like, and I know it is effective, but it makes me feel like I can proactively care for my family's health instead of like, oh man, like you're sick, but I don't want to give you over the counter stuff. So much of that stuff is so not safe. It's just not safe. And I don't have peace about giving it to my family. And I've been seeing I have started following a lot of other women on Instagram, and I've been learning so much, and they've all just been so kind with, I've asked several of them questions. I'm not signed up under them, but they've just been so kind with answering my questions and stuff. And so, anyway, I'll wrap up, but it's just, I can proactively take care of my health and my kids' health and my family's health in a safe way, in a way that I trust. Yeah. And it's been good so far. I'm like excited, and it's kind of like, I'm kind of approaching it like hopeful that the Lord could bless, like, if this is a money maker for us, but just not like getting tripped up by that, because I can get stuck in my head about like trying to make it that instead of that just naturally happening.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something a lot of people can relate to. A lot of the things that you said, like wanting to be proactive. And I know a lot of people got started with the kids kit last month, so that's awesome.
That's funny. That's awesome. Yeah. And my kids are like, I'm just like, my daughter, she's 4, and if I try to make her do something, she just pushes back. She's very big on pushing back. So you want some oils on that? You want some oils for that? And so just hoping, she is getting like adapted, and she's liking it. So yeah, it's been
good.
The owl is really fun. Like that's why I wanted it, to get her interested. Yeah, the owl is super fun.
Good. Yeah, when it's something that the kids can see that's cute and fun, it's a little bit more accepting when it's something new. So thank you so much, Miranda. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you too.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if anybody can relate to that. I know that there's all these things that go in your mind, like Miranda said, when you start, you're like, this, do I use this for that? Or I don't want to use those things, but what can I use instead? And then maybe some of you have a question too about like, can I earn money to pay for my oils or something too? So we'll get into some of those things tonight and give you some resources for more on that. So that's really good insight. Is there anyone else? A little bit about why you got started? So I'm guessing a lot of you can relate to what Miranda said in some way. That's usually why a lot of us get started and how. And so it's really great. I want to encourage you that what I will say is the things that you think you can do with Young Living oils and things like that, it's actually so much more. And it was for me. Even with natural health training, I was walking into it thinking, well, it'll help with this and this and this, and I had no idea. In the last 5, 6, whatever years it's been, 7 almost, I've learned so much just from walking the journey and stuff. So I'm glad you guys got started. And, you know, sometimes when we feel like we have to know everything to get started, we miss out on a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to a couple of things just really quickly. I just want to share with you Young Living's mission. That's what we center our, you know, whatever we do around these things. And so we have resources for every category of these for you guys when you're at that point. So the first one is obviously wellness. This is better health naturally, mind, body, and spirit. And most of our efforts circle around that mission right there, giving you guys wellness, education, and support and encouragement. Young Living's mission includes purpose, and that is just really finding the purpose in life to really pour into others and help others learn what you've learned, or just kind of you know, sharing as you go on your journey. And so like Miranda was talking about, you know, when we're sharing about Young Living and maybe there's a check that comes on the side, our goal really is never that check, but just really there's so much reward that outweighs any check you could ever get, and just the purpose that you feel when you help others have better health. And so what does that mean for us is really, it's not like, oh, what should I say? How should I say it? It's really just being real. And when you have a great experience, you just share that with others, because you're going to connect with somebody who has maybe been really searching for an answer for that thing too. And you could just really be that answer to prayer for them. And so, you know, whatever that looks like for everybody is up to them, but it's just, I encourage people not to withhold anything that really has helped them on their journey. And it's just kind of like if you find anything else, if you find a food that you, or a restaurant that has healthy food that you like on your journey, you know, we'd want to share that with other people just because we want to help them too. So that's Young Living's purpose, part of their mission. And then abundance. And sometimes when people hear abundance, they think money, and it can be that, but really abundance is so much bigger than that. And for me, and some of you here too, I think, and a lot of people in our group, that's really been an abundance in friendships. Young Living has brought me some of the most incredible friends that I never imagined I would have, that have really encouraged me in life, in just overall life, and on this journey, and in ways that I don't know how I would have gotten through them without them. So, and then other resources too, besides friendships and things like that. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the resources that we have in order to help you guys on your journey. So these are for wellness education, but a few other things too. And you'll notice on here just a few of the things that we really want to make sure you guys know about. So we have our Facebook groups. We have our overall Oily Friends group, which is a group that I started with my little tiny team years ago. And that's what, you know, kind of brought a lot of people to it. And so that's where you're at maybe with this. And then sometimes there's some other people on our team that have their own groups and things like that too. And so maybe your sponsor or somebody in your leadership support between me and you has a group too. We have an email newsletter. I have an email newsletter. I'm working on getting better at getting that out, but I'll try to pick the most important, or really just the best education posts from our Facebook group and put them into that newsletter, so that those who aren't on Facebook won't miss those things. And those are something that, you know, anybody can get, and I have a link in our group and I'll share it again too. But also that's just something that, You can have where you can save the information too. So you can maybe have a file in your inbox, or you can print them out. Some people like to do it that way, and just have them to reference. We also have a new app that we've recently been given access to by another team, and this is like what Miranda was talking about, with just the Young Living family in general being really just loving and supportive of each other on this journey. And so that app is called Life Steps, and we have some information in our group, and I can get you more information on it too. It's a really great app. It's a great place to start. It gives you really great basic information. There are little courses that you can go through to learn about things, and it will keep you updated on the sales and the exciting news and things like that too. So the Life Steps app is a little, you can find it in your app store, and it's just a green box with 2 little leaves on it. And anybody that is in my organization specifically will have access to that app because the people who created it were so kind to me to do that. There's also the desk reference app. So we used to encourage people to get a desk reference book. They came out with the app, and now the desk reference books are very expensive lately because they're being phased out due to some FTC issues, I think it is. So the app is really great. You can, and for that, you go to the website called discoverlsp.com, and then you'll look up the app on there, and it's called the Pocket on the Go reference or something like that. And I think it's $8, and it's fabulous. So you can look up different oils and see how to use them and why to use them. You can also look up health issues. So for instance, you can click on headaches, and then it'll show you some ideas of things to use and how to use them. So that's a really, really valuable tool on your journey. And then we're working on doing the weekly Zoom education. So whenever we're done with it, we'll have it uploaded to our Oily Friends YouTube page. So, you know, maybe you can't make it live or whatever, you want to check and make sure you didn't miss anything. You can subscribe to that and make sure you're checking out what we have. Another resource we have is vital180.com. So this is our like grandparents in Young Living, Brenda and Scott Schuler, and they've created a really great resource for our team members that gives you lots of great things. So you can go on there, you can do something called B2NL, Business to the Next Level, and it'll take you through, it'll walk you through your kit, it'll walk you through the basics of like, maybe you want to share Young Living, or maybe you just kind of want to learn a little bit more about that kind of stuff. There's some other things on there as well. So check that out. You'll have to register, and then once they see that you double check that you're on my team, then they'll get you approved in that website. So let's go on to the next one. So I made a quick little really cheesy video, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit around your virtual office and getting to know your account when you're logged in. So I'm actually going to pause this here. I want to just start slow. So when you're logged into your account, it's called your virtual office. We shorten it VO. So if you're like, what are they talking about VO? We're talking about your virtual office, and that just means logging into your account. So there are 2 ways you can place an order. There's shop and essential rewards. So you'll see shop here on the screen, and you'll see that you can just kind of pick the products that you find there. And when you place a shop order is a one-time order. It doesn't get earn any points. It can earn some of the monthly freebies. And then you can also go to Essential Rewards, and if you've never set up Essential Rewards before, when you click on Essential Rewards in your virtual office, it will have a template for you to set it up. And the first time it'll look different than this. It'll have a setup that is different than this, but once you're setting it up, then it'll look something like this. And so it'll show you when your processing date is. You can go in and change your order anytime before the midnight on the day that you set for your processing date. The benefits of this are huge. Essential Rewards is a monthly reoccurring order, but what most people kind of get confused is that it doesn't have to be the same order every month. It is whatever you want. So you can go in there all month long and change it to be whatever you want. You can change your mind 100 times. It doesn't have to be anything of the same products. And then you'll earn 10 to 25% back on that to pick what you want to order with your points. So it's really the best deal. And one of the things to know is, like, for instance, for me, I'll look at new members and I'll see that maybe they've been ordering on Shop for a couple of months, and I'll see that they've lost out on maybe 40 points that they could have gotten free stuff with. That's basically $40 worth of free stuff by not placing that order on Essential Rewards. So I just like to let you know up front that just about that information, so that you can decide which way you want to place your orders. Essential Rewards is just a 50 PV minimum. PV is pretty much similar to dollar amounts, not including shipping. Some items are slightly different. And you can change your processing date anytime. So you can say, well, I don't want it this time anymore. I want to push it later to the month. Or you can go in there and you can say, I actually want to process it today, even though it's not set to process for another week, because I want it sooner. And you can go in and say process today for your order. So it's really versatile. You can do a lot with it. So
can I ask a question real quick, Sarah?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Can you just at some point explain the difference between like the PV and then commission, and then one that, I don't know if that's like you have to hit a certain point and then you get commission, or what?
Okay, great question. So PV means personal volume, and that just means what you are ordering in products. So like you can see on the screen here, mine is 417.75 PV. So on this account, my family has 5 and I order on all of them. We ordered 417.75 PV. That's our personal volume. That was on my order only. And so your team's volume, which is what you would be earning commissions on, would be your OGV, which is called your overall group volume. And so that'll also show in there. And so for instance, if you order 300 PV in a month and then somebody enrolls with a starter kit that's 100 PV, then your OGV will be 400 PV. And the commissions is based generally on your OGV, but also then there's the bonuses and stuff too. And I have a video on that I can share with you guys. Just message me if you want it. And it kind of explains the basics of that kind of stuff more. So does that help?
Sorry. Hey, yeah, that is helpful. I will just go ahead and message you for that. Because
okay.
So is the commission what, like, is that what our paycheck is, or is it still like points? Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. So the commission will be totally, like it's basically commission in general is 8% of your OGV. But what was I gonna say? There's bonuses and stuff. And so like when if somebody's like, I want to start a starter kit too, and you give them your referral link, and they get 100 PV starter kit, that's actually going to be a $50 bonus. So because there's more bonuses in the first 3 enrollment months with new people and stuff. So
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you're kind of going around your, you can click on my profile, and this is me, and then you can go to your leadership section. It'll show like who your leaders are. So if you're like, well, I don't quite know who my leaders are, who my support team is, this is where you'll find it. And it'll usually show your closest silver, and then it'll sometimes show a gold, depending on what your team looks like. And then also usually your diamond is in it, which is me. So, and then for me, you can see that it shows my, let's see here, is it playing? It shows our Royal Crown Diamond, which is Sherry Ross, Essential for Life. And then you can see that it shows their contact information. Sometimes just their email, sometimes a phone number, sometimes both. So you can find that information in there. And let's see here. So that's just another good resource. You can go in, change your profile, change your address, those kinds of things. You can look all of that up right there. And then this is where you'll find your link builder. So if you click on member resources and then you click on link builder is what it's called. This will give you a customized link right there like that. It'll automatically generate it. And that's your referral link. So anytime somebody says they want to order something, you know, your friends and family, like whether they want to just order an oil or a kit or whatever, this is the link that they will use. That's your referral link already set up for you. So that's ready to go for you in your virtual office. Let's see here. I don't remember what I had on this video, if there's anything else. So let's see here. Oh, and then you can also go to order history and check out your order and see what's on there. And then, you know, check it for a tracking link to check on the tracking of your order and things like that too. So that's where some good stuff is in your virtual office. Let's see here. Okay. Another thing to know is you can go into your Essential Rewards order and click on something called PV Assist. And this will actually help make sure that you hit the promo levels that you want to hit for the freebies. So sometimes if an item goes out of stock before your order processes, it will change your total, and that could make you miss out on one of the PV levels that you're aiming for to get the promos. So PV Assist is in there under Essential Rewards, and you can set it up for whichever amount you want, and then you just place products in there that are like backup products in case something goes out of stock. I have it set up. I don't know that it's ever really used it because I'm in there checking my order and changing it all the time, but it's really good to have. It's like an insurance to make sure you're getting those freebies. So let's talk about using your oils and stuff like that. First off, a lot of times I'll get questions that really have the answer right on the bottle, and it's okay. It's hard to read, and you know, sometimes we don't even know what's on there. So this will have dilution suggestions, and it'll also tell you just a good starting place. Like for instance, when it says how long to diffuse it, most people are like, I can only diffuse it for a half an hour. That is just a starting point. You know, you can start there if you're new to the oils. Otherwise, decide what you want to do for yourself. And this is again where the desk reference app comes in handy too, because that'll have some more information for you on that. This also will tell you, you'll notice on here, it says avoid direct sunlight or UV rays for up to 12 hours after applying product. Those are the photosensitive oils. They're usually citrus oils in them, if it's a blend or if it's a citrus by itself. And that just means that because these are not actually steam distilled oils, but they're cold pressed oils, that means that they can kind of stay in the top layer of skin, and that reacts with the sun sometimes when it's hot out or it's directly exposed to hot sun. So it's kind of like if you've ever seen bartenders when they're using their hands with limes a lot, they can get those photosensitive reactions on their hands. It's basically the same thing. So it's just good to know if you're living somewhere where, you know, like I was in Minnesota, it really doesn't apply 6 months out of the year. But if you're living somewhere more like I am now in Oklahoma, it's something that is good to pay attention to a lot of the time, just in general areas that are going to be like exposed to the sun. So, you know, if you put it on your face at nighttime, by the time you go out the next day, it's probably not going to be an issue, but it's just something to be aware of. And then a lot of people ask, vitality versus regular, what's the difference? There isn't a difference besides the label. This was just something that the FDA decided to pick apart a few years back. And so Young Living's oils used to have recommendations for all three uses, aromatic, topical, and internal, right on the bottle. The FDA came out and said, no, you can't do that because of this and that. And so in order to comply, Young Living came out with the Vitality line, which is approved and labeled as a dietary supplement. The oils in the bottles are exactly the same. So here is my regular frankincense, and here is my dietary frankincense. I will put either one of these, both of these in my mouth and on my face. It's just, we can do with them what we want. When we're recommending or sharing them with others, we can't take the dietary one and say, put this on your face, or we can't take the topical one and say, put this in your mouth. It's just an FDA thing. So that's that. Okay, I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about some questions that I get. There's a really simple tip for switching out the tops. Some of the kits come with the super handy Aroma Glide Fitment tops, which are amazing, by the way. These, you can buy roller bottles on Amazon and stuff like that, but I will say that the more of these you can get your hands on, the better. You can buy the packs of them sometimes when they're not out of stock. They come with most of the kits, if not all of them, I'm trying to think. And they're super handy because the difference with these is that they actually have a reservoir for the oil in the top of them, which is nice, especially with kids. Because if you have a kid and they're gonna apply it like this, they're not gonna be tipping it to get the oil out. And so that's fine because some of the oil will stay up in that reservoir. So that's super handy. When you're switching out the top, if you are taking an oil bottle that doesn't have a roller top on it, I'm gonna make sure you guys can see this. There's this handy way to just use the cap and tip it off. And then you'll get that plastic piece off just like that. So instead of trying to take it off with your hand or something like that, you can use the cap. And then to tighten it back on, just tighten the lid and that will work. So for the Aroma Glide Fitments, it's really the same thing. You can pop them off just by tipping the cap, and then to put it back on, that one smells good. I don't know what's in that one. I didn't label it. Put it back on like this, and then just screw on the top to tighten, and that's it. On that note, I want to show you guys something really important and why we only buy straight from Young Living. There are a lot of people on Amazon, eBay, Marketplace, and those kinds of things selling Young Living essential oils. And most of them, I tell you what they were doing. They are taking a used bottle of essential oil, putting who knows what in it, taking the cap and this little ring off of it, and buying these brand new looking covers. And then here, I got to get the plastic piece. They actually come, most of them, oh, yep, they even come with a new plastic orifice in there. And they just do this. And they pop it on, and now you have a sealed bottle of essential oil with who knows what in it. It's really that easy. I bought these caps just to show how, just online, just to show how easy it is to make a bottle of essential oil look brand new. I'm wondering if I can show that to you guys. Looks brand new, sealed and everything. So that's why we buy directly from Young Living. I have actually even seen people in Marketplace or different groups like, hey, can I have a bunch of your used empty Young Living bottles? I'm making a craft project. And some people are making a craft project. Most people are doing this with it. So just a little warning there, not great to buy from those sources. Buys directly from Young Living. And obviously, when you buy directly from Young Living, you get promos and you get rewards points if you're ordering on Essential Rewards too. So you're saving money that way. All right, real quick, I want to just talk about why, just some of the things that might happen when you're using Young Living oils because they're so pure and so potent. When I first started, Joy Oil came in my kit, and I couldn't do it at first. I would get headaches from it, and I learned over time that that was an emotional detox reaction that I was having. I had some blocks that I was refusing to open up in my subconscious mind to let certain emotions out. And so I just didn't use it for a while. Now I love it. I wear it. I use it on my dryer balls for my laundry. I just can't get enough of it. So sometimes there's that kind of reaction. There's also the possibility of having a reaction to certain oils in that same way, but not emotionally and more physically. And sometimes that's just because there's the toxic metals and things in the brain that these oils actually will detox as well. Drinking lots of water will help with that. Taking it slow with the oils, putting them on your feet if you can't stand the smell of them. Sometimes even just holding the bottle in your pocket will help your body get acclimated to it a little bit more slowly. Sometimes there are skin reactions to that because Young Living essential oils will basically dissolve petrochemicals and other toxins. They do the same thing in our skin. So we have a fatty layer underneath our skin that holds toxins in. They can be from years and years and years ago. And sometimes the body's just reacting to the oils are reacting to those, trying to detox them. Sometimes a lot of people will get it on the back of their neck, and that's just from, like, you know, if people wear jewelry that's maybe got some metals in it, some toxic metals in it or something, sometimes the oils will react to those and try to detox the body of those. Some other things are, like, if somebody has high histamines, their body might react in that way too. So it never means it's something bad. The one tip I will give you is we actually have a whole file on this. So if you want to read more about that, you can go in our Facebook group and read the files on reactions and things like that. I would say just don't quit. But if it's aromatic, you're reacting to it that way. You know, like I said, have the oil bottle in your pocket for a while. Try, you know, using other oils, and eventually, slowly, your body will work that out. If it's on the skin, the one thing, I know it sounds weird to some people, is that it's actually better to use the oils internally. It's very unlikely to have a reaction using oils internally, and that'll give your body that. It'll go into your bloodstream still, but it won't give you the skin reaction. So just some things to know there about detox reactions. It's a good thing. This is what we want to do. We've got toxic buildup. Most of us, well, I don't, all of us will come into adulthood with toxic buildup, and the more we can get out, the better our longevity is. So where to go from here? I wanted to leave you guys with some of my favorite products that I think every home should have on hand. I refrained from making this list really, really long like I wanted to, because it's really hard to choose. I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm not saying you have to put all of these on your next order, but these are just a few things. So Inner Defense, that's a weird movement. I didn't realize it was doing that when I made the PowerPoint. Inner Defense is just really powerful soft gels that we have on hand. There's actually a general rule of thumb that says have one bottle on hand for every person in your household. And that's just because it's just a really powerful tool in situations where, you might turn to something that I, really can't say too much about, that might wreck your gut, or that just might be questionable. And so anytime you feel anything coming on, or you've been exposed to anything, or your immune system feels like it needs a boost or something like that, Inner Defense is the way to go. Life9 or Mighty Pro probiotics. Every person should be on probiotics, in my opinion. And these are some really powerful, really great, effective probiotics. Copa oil. If you look up beta carophylline, big word. All it basically means is that it's a really great constituent oil that will help really support the body's natural inflammatory response. So if the body's kind of reacting really strongly to something, that's our go-to. It's also known as the magnifier oil. So it's really great at just magnifying the benefits of any oil that you use with it. I talk a lot about mineral essence in our group. It's a really nasty tasting supplement, but we have seen so many lives change for it. Everybody is deficient in minerals. Everybody needs to add more minerals, and there isn't a single other mineral product out there that I have found to be as effective in completely changing health as this one. So something to check into. We have information in our group on that too. Ningxia Red, some of the kits will come with the packets of Ningxia Red. Don't throw them aside like I did when I first got it. This is a very, very powerful antioxidant drink, and we all really need it going into winter. There was something going around a while ago, and I was doing a challenge. I was drinking 6 ounces a day, and I didn't catch what everybody else had. And so I knew that it was really doing great things for my immune system. And not that everybody has to drink 6 ounces a day, but anything that you can do on a consistent basis with Ningxia Red is going to really help boost your immune system and keep you healthy. Cistus oil, I like to see people have this on hand. Awi oil can work as a replacement sometimes, but cistus oil is a first aid kit oil. You can put it on anything bleeding or take it internally for that kind of thing, and it stops it. I had a situation where my stepmom had cut herself when we were on vacation, and I put it on her and it stopped her bleeding right away. And she was really amazed, and I knew she would be, but I didn't realize that she was also on blood thinners. And she said, I normally bleed for a long time and really bad when I cut myself like that because I'm on blood thinners. And she said, I really can't believe it stopped that. So I don't go anywhere without that one. Awi oil has cistus oil in it, has some other really great oils. We put a spray top on it. They're on one, and we have a roller top on another one, and we always keep that oil handy. So just a couple of my favorites. Maybe you guys have some favorites too. Share it in our group. I would love to hear what you guys love, what your favorites are, what your must-haves are. So we're always welcoming testimony posts and things like that in our Oily Friends. We have had some issues with the legalities of having posts in there asking for health recommendations or things like that. So we don't have that space for in our Oily Friends group, but we do really welcome testimonials and things like that in our group. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. That's just kind of the basics that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And obviously you can find lots more in the resources that I shared with you. And you can reach out to any of your support team and let them know as well. Usually the closer your support team is to you than in your organization, the more quickly they are to get back to you as they have fewer people to support. But we all really do our best to make sure that our members feel supported, as that is just definitely our passion. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to turn off the recording and I'll make this available in our group. So let's see here. How do I do this? Stop recording.